Biggest news that we are obviously tracking for you today continues to be the NEET UG paper leak case, and now the Central Bureau of Investigation on Tuesday filed charge sheet against 13 accused in the alleged NEET UG paper leak case before the Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi. The charge sheet filed by the Economic Offences Wing of the CBI will be placed before the special fast track court constituted to hear paper leak cases. With that, let's in fact decode this charge sheet point by point, because this is of utmost importance. The students had been demanding a charge sheet. We are looking at multiple angles of this NEET UG paper leak. So, we are looking at what this charge sheet now entails that has been put before the Rouse Avenue Court. So, let us look at the filing details first. It was filed on Tuesday, which is yesterday, July 28th. The court was the Rouse Avenue Court in New Delhi, and it was filed by the CBI's Economic Offences Wing. So, we also know that there is money and funding involved, and hence the Economic Offences Wing also filed this charge sheet. Now, it will be in fact placed before the fast track court on Wednesday, which is today. Now, remember that the government already has instituted fast track courts to deal with paper leak cases and to make sure that these cases are resolved within a fixed time frame and the guilty are brought to justice. So, hence today this entire charge sheet will be placed before that fast track court. So, let us look at the legal sections. What are the legal provisions that have been mentioned in this charge sheet? Number one will be the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita or the BNS. Various sections of the BNS have been mentioned in this charge sheet, all violations that have been taking place. There is also the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988 that has been mentioned in the charge sheet. So, another law that has been taken into account. And number three is the Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Act 2024. Remember that this is the very same bill that the government currently is discussing in the parliament. They want to bring more amendments to it. They want to make sure that all this bill has more stringent provisions, has more stricter punishments, and that bill act has also in fact been mentioned in the charge sheet. So, three legal provisions that we are looking at: the BNS, we are looking at Prevention of Corruption Act, and we are also looking at the Prevention of Corruption in Public Examinations. Let us look at the evidence that has been compiled by the CBI in this case, because that will be of utmost importance. The number of evidence that you have will help make your case stronger. So, there are around 360 witnesses that they have, 360 witnesses. 422 documents have also been attached giving evidence of this entire NEET UG paper leak case, and 43 material objects have also been attached. So, we are getting all kinds of evidence that the CBI has gathered apart from witnesses to make their case watertight. Let us look at the key findings in this entire charge sheet. There is no evidence of internal NTA corruption. Now, remember that at the heart of this controversy is the NTA or the National Testing Agency, and people have been demanding a whole revamp of it. The government took action. 47 officials of the NTA were suspended, were changed. We now have new officials in place. However, finding number one of this charge sheet says that there is no internal corruption involved in the NTA. Let us look at finding number two, which is that the NTA negligence has been called as unacceptable. In the charge sheet, even though there is no corruption in the NTA what's listed, but this negligence by the NTA is unacceptable, because that led to this whole vicious cycle of paper leaks taking place. So, that has been mentioned in the charge sheet. Let us look at finding number three, serious procedural lapses that have been identified. So, procedure has not been followed. This is what the charge sheet says, and hence the paper leaks come to the fore. Let us look at finding number four, which is that network involved candidates middlemen and coaching operators as well. So you have a nexus that is involved in this entire cheating and anti-paper leak case. It includes students, it includes coaching institutions, it also includes middlemen. So we are looking at this entire nexus that the government is in fact trying to bust, trying to make sure that everyone is accountable, everyone is held accountable. And let's get in a word from my colleague Javed Hussain on this. Javed, ये एक चार्जशीट फाइल किया गया है, इसके बहुत सारे की फाइंडिंग्स है, बट मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली एविडेंस जो कलेक्ट हुआ है वो इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा केस को वाटर टाइट करने के लिए। जावेद,
देश के 4 राज्य और 93 लोकेशंस मिलाकर जो है सीबीआई ने इस पूरे इन्वेस्टिगेशन को आगे बढ़ाया और आखिरकार इसको लेकर चार्जशीट दाखिल की गई है। इसमें 360 गवाही हैं, 422 इसमें डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं और 43 जो है वो एविडेंस है जो ऑब्जेक्ट कलेक्ट किए गए हैं। इसके अलावा 72 ऑफिसर्स, स्टाफ और 8 साइबर फॉरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट की जो एक जांच टीम थी, इनकी मदद से जो है इस पूरे इन्वेस्टिगेशन को जो आगे बढ़ाया गया। उसके बाद नीट यूजी स्कैम जिसको लेकर एक बहुत बड़ा प्रदर्शन भी हुआ था दिल्ली में और जिसको लेकर जो शिक्षा मंत्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान ने अपना इस्तीफा भी दे दिया। इसको लेकर जिस तरीके से एक पूरा बवाल हुआ पूरे देश में, ये कहीं ना कहीं काफी इफेक्टिव था। लेकिन वही दूसरी तरफ सीबीआई अपने इन्वेस्टिगेशन को बिल्कुल बारीकी से आगे की तरफ बढ़ा रही थी। हम आपको बता दें कि सीबीआई ने इसमें अब तक 13 आरोपियों को जो है गिरफ्तार कर चुकी, जो अभी जुडिशियल कस्टडी में है और उनके खिलाफ ये चार्जशीट दाखिल की गई है, जिसमें मनीषा मंडरे जो एनटीए बायोलॉजी में एक्सपर्ट के तौर पे थी, प्रहलाद विक्रालू कुलकर्णी जो एनटीए में केमिस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट के तौर पे, मनीषा संजय हवलदार एनटीए फिजिक्स के एक्सपर्ट के तौर पर और एक और मनीषा संजय वाघमरे जो कि एक मिडिल मैन यानी कि एक बिचौली के तौर पर सामने आई थी। उसके साथ ही धनंजय निवृत्ति लोखंडे जो कि बिचौली के तौर पर, शुभम मधुकर कैडर जो कि बिचौली के रूप में आई थी, यश यादव मिडिलमैन, मांगीलाल बिलवाल मिडिलमैन, विकास बिलवाल मिडिलमैन, दिनेश बिलवाल मिडिलमैन, डॉक्टर मनोज भागवांद्रो सिरोलन मिडिलमैन, शिवराज रघुनाथ जो है ये ऑनर ऑफ आरसीसी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट लातूर के हैं। और उसके बाद 13वां नंबर जो है तेजस हर्ष कुमार शाह जो कि फिजिक्स फैकल्टी और COO एट APMA कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट पुणे, जो सीबीआई की तरफ से जानकारी मिली। देखिए इसमें सीबीआई ने जो चार्जशीट को दाखिल किया है और आपको बता दें कि सीबीआई की माने तो भारत सरकार के जो हाई एजुकेशन यूनिट है 12 मई को उन्होंने जो है इस नीट यूजी स्कैम को जो है इसमें अनियमितताएं पाई गई थी और पेपर लीक के जो आरोप थे उसको लेकर एक लिखित शिकायत भी दी गई थी। 3 मई 2026 को ये जो जिस तरीके से पूरा ये परीक्षा जो है आयोजित होना था, शिकायत मिलने के बाद सीबीआई ने उसी दिन FIR दर्ज कर इसकी जांच शुरू कर दी। देखिए इसमें जो 93 लोकेशंस है, इसमें इसके अलावा जो है महाराष्ट्र, राजस्थान, हरियाणा, दिल्ली और इसके साथ साथ अलग अलग जो कुछ और राज्य थे जिसमें मिलाकर 92 लोकेशंस पर सीबीआई ने एक साथ सर्च ऑपरेशन को इसमें कंडक्ट किया था। इसमें पहली गिरफ्तारी जो है 13 मई 2026 को की गई थी। अब तक कुल 13 आरोपी देखिए इसमें गिरफ्तार हो चुके हैं और आपको बता दें कि सीबीआई ने इसमें अलग अलग सेक्शन जो है चार्जशीट में जो सबमिट की गई उसमें अलग अलग सेक्शन PNS के तहत लगाई गई, जिसमें आपराधिक साजिश, धोखाधड़ी, आपराधिक जो है कॉन्स्पिरेसी, इसके साथ जो एक धोखा दिया गया, एविडेंस को मिटाने की कोशिश की गई और दूसरे क्राइम्स और करप्शन एक्ट के तहत इसमें मामला दर्ज किया गया है। इसमें पब्लिक एग्जामिनेशन प्रिवेंशन ऑफ अनफेयर मीन्स यानी कि एक्ट 2024 के प्रावधानों के तहत भी आरोप लगाए गए हैं। अब सीबीआई ने जिस तरीके से इसमें फिलहाल अभी इनिशियल 13 लोगों को इसमें मुख्य आरोपी बनाते हुए FIR दर्ज किया, चार्जशीट दाखिल की है। इसमें सीबीआई सोचल है कहना भी इसमें इन्वेस्टिगेशन अभी और बाकी है और इसमें कई ऐसे फैक्ट्स और कई ऐसे इंपॉर्टेंट लोग अभी और हैं जिनका नाम अभी सामने आना बाकी है। जी
धन्यवाद आपका जावेद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. We also have Mr. L.N. Rao, who's the former DCP, Delhi Police, joining us on this broadcast. Thank you so much, sir. A very good morning to you, Mr. Rao. I want to first of all understand from you, how are you looking at this charge sheet that has been filed by the CBI's Economic Offences Wing, and it will in fact be placed before the fast track court. How long do you think that this will take to find a resolution to this entire case, sir?
Good morning, Shivani. Definitely, this is a very hard work of EOW Economic Wing section of CBI, and then after very hard work, they have collected all the evidences against the 13 persons, and all evidences have been explained in the charge sheet separately. Who is the responsible person for which offence, and for that, to prove that offence, they have also collected the enough evidence. I think now the charge sheet is being filed with the special task force, and the trial will start very expeditiously. But as per new law which is proposed as of now, amendment of this bill, if this is implicated from the retrospective effect, then this trial should end in 3 months. But I don't think that this act, if it will pass, that will be applicable for the retrospective act. That all depends. And if it is not applied, this new amendment bill is not applied, then this charge sheet will be scrutinized by all the 13 agreed persons, and it may take in even the fast track court, it may take about 2 to 3 years to finalize this case.